What is the #1 secret to making an outrageously high income as a freelancer? I'm talking about more money than most CEOs make in a year. It's not finding more clients, it's not raising your rates, and it's definitely not working harder. It's getting paid for performance. But how can you find deals that pay you for performance? Well, in this video, I'm going to share 3 secrets for getting these income boosting deals. Plus, I'll share a bonus that's the real secret behind every 7-figure freelancer I know. First, my name's Henry Bingaman. When I started freelancing 16 years ago, I was clueless. In fact, it was so hard I almost quit. Then I discovered the systems and secrets of high income freelancing, and I grew my freelance income to over $1 million. Now, in addition to freelancing, I make videos like these to help freelancers like you make more money and enjoy their work more. This is a super important question. Getting paid based on performance or based on how well your work does is the best way to make serious money. Look, it's perfectly possible to earn $150,000 as a fee-based freelancer. Just think about the math. If you're an email-based copywriter and you charge $300 per email, you only have to write 10 emails a week to make $150,000. 300 times 10 is $3,000 a week times 50 weeks, so you have a couple weeks off, gets you to $150,000. The same math works if you're a highly skilled professional charging by the hour. $75 an hour, which is a perfectly reasonable rate for a decent programmer or engineer, times 40 hours a week, back to that $3,000 a week. Now, of course, keeping yourself that full with work is a challenge, and you're working a lot of hours that way. But a lot of freelancers earn that kind of money. However, to start making multiple 6 figures or over $1 million, you generally need to think differently. And look, maybe you're not the type of person who needs to earn $1 million a year. Maybe you're perfectly happy with $150,000 a year. Well, wouldn't it be nice to do that by only working a fraction of the hours? I'm talking about 15 to 20 hours a week instead of 40 to 60 hours a week. That's what pay for performance deals allow you to do. And they're inherently more fair than flat fee work for the right people. So if you generate massive value for a company, why shouldn't you get more than a simple flat payment? Well, if you can consistently do exceptional work and stand out enough, you can work out these types of deals. There are 3 short but important points I want to cover in this video, so let me dive in. The first secret is find your metric. Now see, most people talk about themselves as a service provider. They say, I'm a freelance designer, I'm a freelance copywriter, I'm a freelance developer. Instead, you need to start positioning yourself as a result provider. I'll admit, this is a little easier for copywriters because for most of my career, my results were the revenue. So that was my metric. But it doesn't actually matter the type of work you're doing. Even if you're just writing content or doing SEO or producing videos, you still need to shift your mindset to start thinking about how your work improves your client's bottom line. And that means you have to find your metric. And look, there's always a metric. That's why you're being hired in the first place. So if it's not immediately apparent, you can start asking questions of your client like, what would success look like? How are we measuring success on this? Or what would success mean for the company? It just has to be something measurable. Then once you find your metric, you find a way to get paid more if you deliver more of that result. So let's use SEO as an example. I'm gonna use some round numbers that don't track exactly with the reality of SEO. This is just for illustrative purposes. If you're an SEO specialist, don't freak out at me. No! So let's say you are that SEO specialist and the client has told you that every organic website visitor they get is about $1 in profit for them. Well, let's say your flat fee would be $1,500 typically to maximize the organic reach of several pages. What if you pitched that client on $500 upfront and then 5 cents per extra organic search visitor they got? Now that's less risky for the client because now if you can't get the results they want, they only spent $500 on you instead of $1,500. So that means there's a lot less riding on the fact that it has to work. Meanwhile, if you do a great job with SEO and you're good at what you do, and you get them an extra 10,000 visitors a month, well, you didn't just make $1,500 like you would have with the flat fee, you made $6,500 over the course of a year for the work you did once. Or if they don't want that arrangement, you could ask for a bonus payment, like $500 for every spot you jump them in the Google rankings for certain search terms. You might have to get a little creative in your negotiations, but you can find clients who prefer to work on a performance basis like this. And that leads me to secret number 2. Put yourself as close to the money as possible. The closer you are to the profit and loss statement, the easier it is to negotiate a performance-based deal. Now, it could be the case that you're closer to the revenue-generating activities, like a sales copywriter, or it could be closer to the money-saving activities. I know a freelance tax consultant who saved some business clients over $100,000 a year on their taxes, so he could negotiate a percentage of money saved type of deal. Or it could be the product being sold. So if you're an app developer and you're building the product being sold, you could work out a deal where you get paid every time someone downloads the app. Now, there are some skills that are far away from the money. Photographers virtual assistants, logo designers, but that doesn't mean you have to give up on getting performance deals. It just means if you want to grow your freelance business to the next level, you need to either add skills that are closer to the money, or you might already have skills and you just haven't realized it yet. And that's why I created the skill stack exercise, which you can find at henrybing.co/skills. Links in the description. Now, there's a part 2 to this second secret. When you're negotiating, you always negotiate out of future money. People have a different relationship to the money they have in their bank account right now than they do with the money that'll theoretically be in their bank account in the future. If I say, hey, pay me $25,000 and I'll make you $1 million, well, you as the client are going to need a lot of proof that I can really live up to that job. On the other hand, if I told you, after I make you $1 million, I want you to pay me $50,000, that's actually a much easier deal for them to agree to. Now, I have to be good enough to actually make them the $1 million, otherwise I wouldn't get the $50,000. But if I'm confident in my skills, I'm getting paid a lot more for the same amount of work. Now, the real secret to getting clients to agree to these deals is painting a really good picture of that future money. They have to be able to imagine how great it'll feel to realize the money you're saving them or the money you're making them. They have to be emotionally attached to that outcome and really see it as a sure thing. Because then they're not only picturing the money, they're picturing that you're giving it to them. Now, here's the thing. Once you negotiate these deals, you'll want some type of written agreement. But, and this is one of my most controversial takes, having an ironclad contract just isn't that important. Which is secret number 3. You only want to do performance-based deals with companies that have a reputation to maintain. I've been paid over $1 million in performance bonuses on basically a handshake deal, and I've been stiffed on $5,000 when I had a 10-page legal contract. So it makes sense to get all the details of your agreement in writing, and you want to do that just to make it semi-official. But the good clients will pay you regardless of the strength of your contract, and the clients who are going to stiff you will stiff you regardless of the strength of your contract. And it's rarely worth it to take a client to court. So if you work with fly-by-night startups or people just launching a business, you're taking a bit more risk. Those kind of opportunities are great for fee-based work where you're getting paid at least a part of your fee up front, so you're always getting something. And they're great for starting and getting experience. However, when you're ready to start scaling up and getting paid for performance, it's a much better idea to work with well-established businesses who have done these types of deals before, although that's not entirely necessary. Here's the thing, companies that have a reputation to maintain need to be able to hire other freelancers. They can't afford to ruin their reputation by stiffing you on payments. And reputation is worth a whole lot more than whatever money they owe you. Every company I've ever heard of that screwed a freelancer out of performance payments has gone out of business or almost totally collapsed. All right, let me give you that bonus secret I promised in the beginning. And this is really the most important insight I can give any freelancer who wants to dramatically boost his or her income. There are no rules. A lot of freelancers watching this thinking, well, that's not how my industry works. Nobody gets paid like that in my industry. I couldn't make those kind of deals. First of all, it's almost certainly not true. Performance deals have been around since the beginning of business. If you're good, if you're truly a category of one and you're positioned in a way that nobody else can compete with you, you'll be shocked at how many of your clients are open to making these kinds of deals. Look, I know you're a freelancer, but you need to start thinking of yourself as a business. It's not you, you're offering a service, and your terms are just as important as your client's terms. You have to have a meeting of the minds on both things. So you'll be shocked if you're creative in your negotiations, if you come up with interesting arrangements, if you're willing to think a little bit outside the box, you're going to be able to land these types of performance deals that dramatically boost your income a lot earlier than you think you can in your career and with a lot more clients than you probably think you can right now. Now, to start getting paid for performance, you do need to start with the right foundation. So you need the right skill stack. That's your unique combination of skills that makes you a category of one. You can charge a lot more and get a lot more high performance pay than just a generalist in a niche. Now, I have a quick video about how to do this. Just head to henrybing.co/skills to check that out. Again, links in the description. All right, catch you in the next one.